Hey there, Jeremy Weiss here with Weiss Tech Hockey and HockeyShot.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to properly perform the touch pass. Now obviously in hockey there are various types of passes. There's your soft hands, cushion and sweep type passes, touch passes, saucer passes, forehand and backhand passes. I believe that players need to be able to properly perform all of them because there are going to be different game situations where you're going to need all of them. But in this video we're going to be narrowing in on the touch pass. So I'm going to be using my kids to help me demonstrate some of this, but what I want to do is talk about proper body positioning, the angle of the stick blade, how your lower body should be, and how the proper mechanics work of the touch pass. And to demonstrate this we're going to be using HockeyShot's Extreme Passing Kit. Alright, so we got a little bit of a tight camera angle here, but that's no problem. It'll still do the trick for what we need it to do to be able to demonstrate what we need to have happen here. So first thing, when you're working with a touch pass, and this is the case with almost any skill in hockey, you got to get a decent knee bend. You want to be stable. You need to have a strong base because especially if you're handling a harder touch pass, that puck's going to come in hard. You need to redirect it for a quick touch pass. You got to be stable in the base. So knees bent is the first thing. Next thing that you see have happen with, especially with younger kids, is they think that the touch pass means they're slapping it. So you almost see like this bubble hockey motion where the kids are slapping their stick at the puck as it's coming in. That usually doesn't work for a number of different reasons. A, it's just not the right way of doing it. B, oftentimes they have their stick blade up. Okay, so if they turn their stick blade up, then obviously that creates like a ramp with your stick blade, and when you make contact with the puck flips up, and you can't control it. Another thing is you often see the kids with their hands too close together. So you got to get that bottom hand low. You want to lean on the bottom hand, knees bent, nice stable power position here. And then the real key to this is you want to take your top hand. Okay, I'm going to try to, hopefully we can see this. You want to take your top hand and push it out. Now when you take your top hand and push it out, look what that does to the blade of the stick. Okay? It goes from being open to being cupped. So that's the angle that we want to use as we're making that touch pass. Now, what do we do from here? From here, all it is a cross-checking motion. Okay? So you're cross-checking the puck in the direction that you want it to go. So hopefully that makes sense. If you see something going wrong with the kids' touch passes, usually it has to do with one of those things. They're either standing up too straight, hands too close together, sometimes both of those, most of the time both of those. They're swiping at it or slapping at it instead of control cross-checking motion. And oftentimes they have their stick blade open. So to correct that, you got to push that top hand out, and that cups the stick over. Then it's just a cross-checking motion. So in action, it'll look like this. Okay? Okay? That's kind of what we're looking at. So you see the puck stays flat. We can speed that up. Okay? And the puck stays pretty flat for us. Stays under control. And that's easily, obviously in a game you're not doing, speed bag style touch passing. In a game it's a single touch pass, redirect it to the direction you want it to go, and that's your play. So in a game it would look something more like this, right? Redirecting it off to your player, to your centerman swinging through, or whatever it is you're looking at. So let me show you what the kids look like doing this, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so we got Tyler and Chase here. Tyler and Chase are both mites. Actually, Chase is technically a mini mite. Tyler's 8, Chase is 6. They both play on the same team, and we've actually been working a little bit on our touch passes the last few weeks. So guys, go ahead and show me the touch pass stance. Get ready. Okay, you need to put that front foot, lean on your front foot, weight on your front. Okay, perfect. Now notice as they lean on their front foot, what does that do to the blade of their stick? Okay, remember keep your chest up, eyes forward, shoulders forward, Chase. Looking forward, the direction you're going to be passing to. Yes, there you go. Okay, stick blades are cupped. Now show me that cross-checking motion. Okay, remember we don't want to come out too far. Stick doesn't really come out past your front foot. Okay? If we get out too far, then the stick blade's no longer cupped, and we want to keep that cup. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and show you these guys in action using the Extreme Passing Rebounder.
So I thought it'd be helpful to show you the sequence of my own kids learning this concept. So in this first clip, you can see Chase has a tendency to lean away from the pass. So what he needs to do is get that weight out on the front foot. That's what I'm telling him here. Get the weight out on the front foot. That cups the stick, and that gives you more power behind the pass as it's coming in. Here, Tyler, you can see Tyler doesn't have his hips square to the direction that he's going to be giving and receiving the pass from. I told him to square up his hips, and he actually opened them up instead. He didn't understand what I was talking about there. In this little sequence, you can see Tyler starting to get the motion figured out. Chase is doing what I call that bubble hockey style, where he's basically just slapping it. He's not getting that cross-checking motion with his upper body. So again, Chase needs to square up his hips towards the direction he's going to be giving and receiving from, and then extend those hands out in a cross-checking motion. This is where we're putting the kids in action now. So we've graduated on from from working on the motion to actually putting a puck on their stick. You can see Tyler has a tendency to, his contact point with the stick gets further and further forward. It starts off okay, back between his legs, but then as he goes more and more and more, it gets further and further and further out in front of his front foot there. So that's what I'm talking about with him here is, let the puck come back, further back before you make contact. Now this is where he finally starts figuring it out. So you can take a look. It's starting to get a lot more smooth. He's getting that rhythm down. There is rhythm in hockey, especially in drills like this. And once you get that timing and rhythm down, then you'll have more control over what happens. And then in a game situation, you'll have more control over giving and receiving that pass and redirecting it to the direction that you want it to go.
Go ahead.
So Chase is a little bit younger, and we've already worked a lot on cushion and sweep. So that's kind of his go-to. You can see here he's actually doing it with really soft hands, which is good if that's what we're working on, but I want him to be, doing touch pass in this. You can see again his tendency to lean back away from the pass. So he needs to really get that weight out on the front foot, and that's what I'm talking about with him. You can see it though, the length of him working on this clip, he goes from doing it quite wrong to getting pretty good at it by the end, as good as I can expect really from where he's at in his development and his age. So you can see, he's got that tendency to lean back away from it, and he's still cushioning and sweeping. So what I'm saying here is you gotta, the verbiage I'm using is tap, tap, tap.
Don't open your wrist.
Another thing you'll notice here is he has a tendency to open up the face of his stick, which is good on a cushion and sweep pass. But we want that stick face staying closed. Okay, now he's starting to get the hang of it. See how that works? All of a sudden it clicks for him.
There you go. Yes, good.
And I'm saying again, so he starts reverting back into that cushion and sweep mode again. I'm saying tap, 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 and that kind of, that verbiage. It's a verbal cue that gets him thinking in the right terms.
It's getting there.
But it's really interesting to watch with these youngsters. All of a sudden it'll click for them, and then it starts looking quite a bit better.
So that's your touch pass. Hopefully that helps, and you can find more tips like this at weisstechhockey.com. Make sure you visit HockeyShot.com for all of your hockey training aids, including the extreme passing kit that we used in this video.